Now, from Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5 starts with breaking news.
At least one confirmed tornado on the ground earlier this afternoon near Sidney and Shenandoah, Iowa. Multiple storms moved over that area less than an hour ago. There are also reports of tennis ball-sized hail in southeast Iowa.
Here's our first look at the damage. This home is in the town of Farragut. It's southwest of Shenandoah. Weather Now Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby is live tracking all of this severe weather. Bill.
Yes, absolutely right. Melissa, David, here in Omaha, people are saying, well, it's sunny, well, there's nothing going on. And it's true. This is the storm line of clouds off to the south and east of us here, but this is the view from the TD Ameritrade headquarters in the Old Mill area. It's 92 degrees. It's hot. It's humid, but storms are all off to the southeast of us, and you see the temperature's hot here. Cooler where it's rained in Shenandoah and Creston in Nebraska City. That's live Super Doppler Silver radar. Alex, let's zoom in here. This storm down here in Taylor County is a tornado-warned storm here, and it includes Bedford in the warning. So this thunderstorm at the very least has large hail and is tracking eastward across the south half of Taylor County in Iowa here. The other warning that was a tornado-warned storm has expired now. The storm that's gone over toward Creston, so that's good. But Alex, if you could just pan back over here, let's go ahead and look farther to the west, and you'll see Hamburg, Iowa, strong thunderstorm there. Severe thunderstorm warning on this. But if you switch over to velocity mode of the Weather Service radar there, not a very strong toward and away. That's good. So no immediate concern of a tornado here, but obviously we're watching this as we have the tornado watch in effect. This is the line of the tornado watch. The Weather Service did include the Omaha Metro in this, but you can tell all the storms are off to the south and east of us, and this is the tornado warning. This storm here moving just north of Creston with a tornado warning on it, but other thunderstorms not as strong yet, and hopefully they stay that way around Auburn, around Hamburg, and also near Maryville, Missouri. So we're watching all those thunderstorms here. Again, all the activity south and east of the Omaha metro area this evening and tonight. Some of these storms are going to produce more tornadoes, I think, this evening, and there are more storm chances going ahead into Thursday here in the Omaha metro. You have some evening plans. Here in town, partly cloudy, really, really warm and humid this evening, and probably just stays partly cloudy through midnight as we watch the lightning display off to the south and east of us. With time, those storms gradually moving away overnight tonight. David, Melissa?
All right, Bill, thank you. Here's another view of the tornado. This is southwest of Shenandoah near the town of Farragut. You can see the tornado moving past Highway 2 there. We were on the phone earlier with Dustin Sheldon, who's the assistant fire chief in Sidney, Iowa. He tells us Highway 2 there heavily trafficked this time of day. It's a major thoroughfare through that part of southwest Iowa.
Yeah, and he was responding to a couple calls of homes damaged. Let's take a couple more looks at pictures from viewers helping us tell this story. This picture is from Nebraska Twister Chasers. You see the storm forming right there.
Here's the view of the funnel cloud from near Sidney as it tore toward Shenandoah late this afternoon. Another look here at that rope tornado near the town.
Well, viewers are calling in to tell us what they saw when that storm came through.
Samantha Hull watched the twister move across the ground near Shenandoah.
I'm at the Earl May store in Shenandoah, and we saw straight across the street there was a tornado that touched down. Oof. It was a hook shape. And then it touched down for about 5 minutes or so, and then we saw another one on the south side of our store. There was the very first one that touched down. There was debris on the ground.
As Samantha Hull telling us about what she saw as soon as that storm pretty much dropped right in front of her.
Yeah, and you were able to get a hold of Dustin Sheldon earlier today.
Yes, Dustin Sheldon. He's the assistant fire chief in Sidney, Iowa. And we did speak with him earlier. I'm not sure, is he still on the phone talking to our producer? Or do we have? Okay, this is what Dustin had to say to us earlier about a half hour ago when he was driving by on Highway 2 between Sidney and Farragut. Take a listen.
Yeah, this residence is about halfway between Farragut and Sidney. All the occupants of the residence are accounted for and uninjured at this time.
And Dustin, is this kind of similar to other damage that you're seeing in the area? Is this the only home you've been through so far? How many more reports are you getting as a result of the storm?
We have at least one more residence that's about 2 miles straight east of this residence that sustained heavy damage also. Other than that, that's the only two residences that we've seen that have sustained major damage at this time. There's lots of limbs and things like that and debris in some other residences, but no structural damage to the home so far that we've found.
Okay, and Dustin, you had sent us some video earlier. I believe you were driving along Highway 2 between Sydney and Farragut. Take us back to when you first got outside and started fielding these calls of, hey, we see a tornado on the ground in the area. You started getting these calls about when?
I'm not sure exactly what time it was. Sometime after 3:15 or so, 3:30. I'm not exactly sure what the time was. I didn't look at my watch, but we got these calls that this was going on, so we sent our spotters into activation and dispatched our fire department. And when I left in the vehicle, the storm was actually right above me at the time, and we got some good video of it as it was forming, leaving the east side of Sydney, going right along Highway 2. So we had a very good head start on getting the warning system activated and getting these people alerted to what was headed their direction and getting the people in the oncoming path to.
Again, you're listening to Dustin Sheldon there, an interview from earlier today. He's the assistant fire chief in Sydney, Iowa.
Yes, yep. And let's send it back to Bill now for an update on this storm as it's continuing to go through.
Yeah, we've got new storms out there and a new tornado warning here actually for the extreme northern part of Nottoway County. Goes till 5:30. This is from the Weather Service in Kansas City, but this is their responsibility. This couplet right through here, just south of Bedford, very strong. So they've got this extreme northern edge of Nottoway County in a tornado warning, as well as this area just south of Bedford at risk for a tornado. Look at that, Alex. Let's zoom in as tight as we can on that and get that Tornado sampling here. So that green is coming in toward Omaha at a speed of 42 miles an hour, going away at 77 miles per hour. Super strong rotation, same thing that we saw when the storms were coming in toward Shenandoah. So I'm pretty certain that this is capable of being a tornado with this right now. We don't have confirmation. It's kind of the radar indicated. It's tougher. If you switch over to reflectivity on this, Alex, you'll see that it's in an area where it's raining. So it's difficult to know for sure, is there a tornado in there or not? But obviously it's been rotating and moving off to the east here. So that is something obviously to have to follow the thunderstorm in there. I don't know if you can fish through, Alex, and find correlation coefficient from the National Weather Service. It's in the products that they've got on there. We'll leave that up in here. So that's our correlation coefficient. You're going to have to go through the pull down list on the other side and get that here. Look for it if you can. First, let's pan over the radar here a little more to the east here, where you can see these thunderstorms tracking off into portions of Iowa here. And again, this is where we had, I did want to point out, by the way, there was some confusion where the house was that had the damage. It's saying Farragut, but it was actually on the north side of Highway 2. So it was the storm that came through Sydney and tracked along and north of Highway 2. That's where that house was damaged, but Farragut was the nearest community to the damaged house. So that's where it was located. All right, so this is correlation coefficient. Let's get down here into Bedford County, if we the area. Okay, so here we go. Between Bedford and the state line here, this is what we're looking for any debris in the air. So far not. If you switch between reflectivity, right there, velocity. So here's our couplet. That is really strong, Alex. My goodness. So this 100 miles an hour away and 50 miles an hour towards. So that is really tightened up. I'm sure there's got to be a tornado occurring here right now just south of Bedford in the southern part of Taylor County in Iowa, tracking eastward. They've got a tornado warning on that thunderstorm here, and then if you put regular reflectivity over that, you'll see it's right in through here. So this storm is spinning as it goes eastward here, and you'll see, if you animate that one more time, Alex, as it comes eastward here, right there. So just south of Bedford, where the strongest rotation is, tracking just north of the Missouri-Iowa border there. Tornado warning, super strong couplet. Just watch how that continues to evolve. And it came out of this storm that had been tracking in southern parts of Page County. It was the one that moved up from Atchison and Nottoway County here, and now is moving eastward. This has got to be a tornado-producing storm right through here, moving south of Bedford and moving off to the east. So really, really impressive-looking velocity couplet toward Omaha, away from Omaha, right on top of each other in that location here. Bad spot there as it continues moving off to the east, and obviously that will have to be monitored. Back up into the rest of the viewing area here. Nothing for the metro, nothing for Pottawatomie County, Mills County, Cass County, Plattsmouth will be fine, Bellevue be fine. But these storms down here, all of these things potentially could turn tornadic. Not saying that they will, but this one for sure has. Look at that thing. Rotating right through there, moving right along the, so just south of Bedford, Iowa. Just looking at the radar, there's got to be a tornado producer right now. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for this other cell here that's gone through Hamburg. Alex, that was quarter-sized hail with that one, I think?
Yes.
Okay, so we're watching all these things, but again, the trend, all this stuff heading away from the Omaha Metro with time this evening. David, Melissa?
All right, Bill, thank you for tracking the storms through the afternoon. We'll check back with you later in the newscast. Alex Alisi along with Bill as well.
Right, and we do have crews in the fields, but right now we need to go to break.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7, with David Earl, Melissa Fry, and your Weather Now forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Randby. Live from 7 Burlington Station. This is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Right now, we have crews out looking for damage in southwest Iowa.
Yeah, KETV NewsWatch 7's Alexandra Stone is live. Alexandra, what are you seeing right now?
Guys, we are east of Sidney, Iowa here on Highway 2, and I want to show you the damage at this home. Take a look at the roof behind me, absolutely blown off here. And then in the yard, debris everywhere. You can see trees down and the owners here assessing the damage. And over here, I'll give you a look. This shed, the windows were completely knocked out when the storm came through. One side is completely torn off, and like I was mentioning, there's just debris all over the ground. There's downed power lines in front of the house. You can see these trees split in half. The owner tells me his wife was home with their grandchildren when this came through, and they felt those heavy winds. They are safe. They are okay here tonight, and of course we'll continue bringing you updates. We hear there's another home down the road that also sustained some pretty significant damage in the storm. Again, here we are just east of Sidney, Iowa on Highway 2. Reporting live. Back to you guys.
All right, that's Alexandra Stone in southwest Iowa for us. Incredible to see those images of damage. The trees
absolutely.
You can just see blown right over, and significant damage to the home there as well.
Right, and thankfully no reports of any serious injuries. We'll be back right after this with Bill's updated weather forecast.
Accurate, trusted. Chief Meteorologist Bill Randby with your Weather Now forecast.
All right, if you don't care about the storms, if you're in the Omaha Metro, you want to know what it's like this evening, it's a Randby Factor 6. Everything is okay around here, but it's hot, it's sticky. But if you're in western Iowa or northwest Missouri, you're looking at this. Curtis Wagner sent me this picture. His mom lives in Hopkins, Missouri, and she took this picture of a massive rotating wall cloud and a wedge tornado on the ground. That storm is this storm right here. Alex is zooming into it, and this couplet where you've got this green toward Omaha and red away is still likely a massive tornado on the ground, and this is the debris signature from it. It's probably just in open fields, so there's not a lot of, say, buildings or trees thrown up into the air here, but there's still some debris here, just maybe crop stuff into the air, but a huge tornado right there. But it's in southern Taylor County, south of Bedford, and kind of moving out of our viewing area, but a really, really nasty storm, likely bigger than the tornado that went through Shenandoah, Iowa. It's this storm right here and kind of exiting our Channel 7 viewing area. Here you can see the storms that have gone through Shenandoah and to the east. Other severe thunderstorm warnings now south of Nebraska City in Nemaha County near Auburn, and also east now of Hamburg into Fremont County, Iowa. Everything moving east. This is the edge of the tornado watch, but again, nothing going in the Omaha Metro, and we are actually looking pretty good. Here's our storm predictor for 6 o'clock. Looks pretty good with the thunderstorms where they're at. There's 6:30, there's 7 o'clock, there's 8 o'clock, so everything will tend to move east and south with time this evening. Nothing here through midnight. Late tonight, there'll be some storms that get going in western Nebraska, come up into southern parts of our viewing area, 4 or 5 in the morning, but looks like we may wait almost until dawn in Omaha for showers and a few more thunderstorms to get in here. There's the evening weather Really warm, muggy, temperatures in the 80s for much of the evening and eventually just barely into the upper 60s. Sunny downtown. 92, west wind at 15, dew point 67. It's hot, it's humid. That 92 is the high of the day in Omaha. It was 1,800 an inch of rain early this morning, and you see the temperatures really warm through here, cooled off with the thunderstorms there in southwestern portions of Iowa. All right, so for tonight, storms off to the south. Some severe here this evening, still tracking a tornado south of Bedford and Taylor County, Iowa, 68 for the low temperature. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder around at 8 a.m. Temperatures in the upper part of the 60s. Tomorrow may be another very unstable day where there's a possibility of strong or even severe thunderstorms in the afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center has us in an enhanced risk of severe weather for tomorrow afternoon. 85 degrees for a temperature around 4 o'clock or so. So 85 for tomorrow. And then all of this stuff gets pushed off to the south and east, and cooler, drier air comes in. Low 80s for the highs on Friday and also Saturday. Sunday, next chance of a thunderstorm, probably not until Sunday night, and maybe into the overnight hours of early Monday. And then the 4th of July looks okay with temperatures in the middle part of the 80s here. So very active afternoon here in southwest portions of Iowa. Bad tornadoes down there.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Bet.
Appreciate it. And we do have some more incredible images, some videos from southwest Iowa of that storm.
Yeah, and the damage. Here's a view of one of the tornadoes that touched down this afternoon outside Farragut. Assistant Sidney, Iowa Fire Chief Dustin Shelton recorded this storm as it went through there. There is damage in Sidney and elsewhere. We've seen roofs off homes and damage to farmsteads. We have not seen any widespread damage, though, in those communities.
And right now we do have crews out looking and assessing some of that damage with those homeowners in southwest Iowa.
Yeah, we're going to check back in with KETV NewsWatch 7's Alexandra Stone. She is live for us. Alexandra.
And guys, we are just a few miles east of Sidney, Iowa, at a home that sustained some significant damage, and we're actually going to speak with the owner here. This is Lynn. Lynn, I'm so sorry about all of this here. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened this afternoon?
Well, it was just my wife and grandkids were here, and they heard the fire alarms going off in Farragut, which is about 3 miles away, and she grabbed the kids, went in, grabbed transistor radio, and headed for the cave. We have an old-fashioned cave, and she opened the door for the cave, and the door blew off, and the two grandkids she had in her hand, they went sliding across the yard, and she was just petrified. She got knocked down the cellar steps, and so, but everybody's fine. That's the most important thing. Everything else can be replaced. So
yeah, we're so glad you guys are okay. Talk to me a little bit about where we're standing here. Your shed significantly damaged.
Yeah, it's a mess. I don't know what else to say, but it's gone. I had another shed, storage shed, and then the roof on the west half of the roof on the west half of the house is all gone, and the inside is just a shambles, and walls are cracked, and everything's it's a mess. So, and you can see the cornfield across the way that it's totally. So I think we got right on the field on the other side of us is okay, but we were just high enough and evidently at the right spot at the wrong time. So,
well, we're so glad that you guys are okay. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
And we're going to walk over here and give you guys a look at some of that damage he's talking about. You can see things are just scattered here in the yard. This is a bench. I'm going to step over some downed boards here. Photographer Tyler also trying to get over this debris. And back here in the yard, you can see tons of downed trees. There are just limbs everywhere in this yard. And if we can get you all the way around here, you'll be able to see the roof that was part off of this home when the tornado came through. So if we walk around, you can see right up here, part of the roof is missing from those storms. So there's truly significant damage out here. And again, to give you an idea of where we are, we're just a few miles east of Sidney, Iowa. And as Lynn was mentioning, we're hearing reports of damage at other homes and in some fields around the area. So of course we will head to those areas and bring you the latest as we get it. Reporting live now from just east of Sidney, Iowa, Alexandra Stone, KETV NewsWatch 7.
All right, Alexandra, thank you. Incredible to see those images there.
Wow. We are back after this with Bill's updated forecast.
All right, still watching this really nasty storm just to the east of Bedford, Iowa. There's the couplet, so still a possible tornado, but it's starting to move out of our viewing area. Platteville is the community in eastern Taylor County. You can see the thunderstorms moving east. Nothing much in the Omaha Metro. We're going to end looking at some of the video that came in earlier on this afternoon in southwest Iowa.
Tonight, breaking news, the tornado threat underway in the heartland. Cameras capturing multiple twisters. The devastating images coming in right now.